Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched OUATW's It Takes a Thief, and it revealed Alice's past when she first into Wonderland, makes a trip to Wonderland, and meets the Knave of Hearts, or as he's known, Scarlet Will. Amara's turned back into her human form, and unfortunately she has to sacrifice a little bit of something, and what happens to Cyrus just, it made me gasp. I literally gasped, and I couldn't believe what I had witnessed. I thought, no, why? You bastard, Jafar! But anyway, this is what always happens when I watch Once Upon a Time, or Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. There's one more episode, so I'm wondering if they're going to wrap it up or leave some questions unanswered, answer them later in OUAT. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if they'll do that or not, but it's going to be interesting, so we'll just have to be patient, I guess. I really did like this episode. I thought that there was a lot going on for it. I liked how the Knave taught Alice to defend herself, because he was more familiarized with the indigenous life to Wonderland. But actually, interestingly enough, Alice is always shown as the more intelligent character. She's always the innovative young woman who thinks on her toes and is always strategic in her plans and advances, and she was the one that gave the Knave a little bit of a heads up about one part of the maze, what they walked into. And I particularly liked that scene. I thought it was very revealing to Alice's character, especially in her intellect. I don't know if they'll have Cora back in this series or not, but I think it was just a one-episode thing for crossover, and you know that the two are linked. And I was wondering if they were going to have another spin-off like Once Upon a Time in Oz, but I highly doubt that, because you know it's already being done with Zelina, so who knows. I'm interested in seeing how this will end, so hopefully tomorrow when I have time I'll be able to see the last episode of the season, the last episode ever made. And I highly doubt that it's going to end there. They'll probably just end it up in the air, and they will probably resolve things in Once Upon a Time. At least that's my hope. If not, hey, they're always fanfics, so whilst I'm busy with that, you know where my thoughts are going to be. But I've really enjoyed the series, and I have to say it's probably the most inventive use of all the characters from Once Upon a Time, and I mean from Wonderland, and I think I can say that I like this version as much as I like Johnny Depp in that version. And there will be a sequel to that. I know there are a lot of people saying it's too long and they took over so many liberties with it. There's something called a creative license. Come on, get over it. But you know, a lot of people don't realize that it was based on an actual feud between the Tudors and the Windsors. I mean, they absolutely loathed each other, and Carol knew about this, and he was very clever. He was exactly like Shakespeare. He was a satirist. That's what satirists do. And he wrote on the culture of the time, and how these certain people just didn't care for one another whatsoever. Excuse me, sorry. And I was going to give you some updates. Of course, you know that I'm reading Harry Dresden books. I've been watching Supernatural and Lost Girl and Being Human. I've decided to write a fanfic incorporating all these different things. Now it's probably going to be the most challenging thing I've ever done, but hopefully I can do it. I'm writing another Arrow, so I'm getting closer to finishing that. I'm writing a rom-com that's turning out quite well. It's called Must Be Jewish. I'm going to be writing another fantasy story. And I'm also working on a crime mystery suspense story, which I haven't done for quite some time. And then I'm planning on writing another steampunk, which is called Vintage Mechanization. I've written steampunk before, and I really savor the genre because it's so much fun, and you've got a lot of liberty with what you can incorporate into it. Today's been an interesting day. It started out fairly well, actually, with Palm Sunday service, and Dad and I were actually able to attend it, unlike past times where it was too cold, and it's just non-conducive to my father getting up and out and complaining about his joints aching and etc. But he was actually able to go to church today, and it was stellar. Absolutely fabulous to be in church, I think. We go home and we have breakfast, and I read the usual scriptures, and we're reading the book of Jasher, which is actually just a recapitulation of the Torah. If you've ever read it, there's a little bit more detail in it. It's an apocryphal book, and I like it as much or maybe even more than Enoch, even though I'm very, very, very fond of the book of Enoch. I'm also fond of Enoch as just a very intriguing and fascinating character. He's probably my favorite character next to Methuselah. I have to say that today being the 13th, I realized that my dad's triskaidekaphobia came into view, and once again his biorhythms threw us all off kilter. They always do. Curse you! You stupid circadian rhythms. I don't like you. But what happened this time is my dad, he was complaining of pressure on his chest. He just felt like he had some heaviness on his chest. He said, and my fingers feel numb. And I also am very fatigued. And I said, those are 3 symptoms of problems with your heart. You might be having a heart attack. So he agreed to that. We called the paramedics, and the firemen came in, and they asked me if I was the nurse, and of course I said no, but I was very flattered by that designation. I thought, sure, I'll take that compliment any day. It's lofty praise. Another one of them said, are you the aide? And I said, no, I'm his daughter. Where is he? Go upstairs, take a left. He's in that room. And he was coming out of the room, and they helped him out, and by the time I had lunch later on this evening, he told me that nothing was wrong with him. He wasn't really having any issues, thank heaven. But he said what had occurred was actually caused by stress. I thought, well, duh. I mean, we're doing our best to renovate our home. The contractors that we had were a frost, and they were fired. They're no longer working for us, and our house is still in disarray. It's just an absolute shambles. It still needs to be completed, and I'm hoping at some point in time it can be. I was also kind of optimistic that Dad would come home tonight, but alas, such is not the case. He may be able to come home tomorrow. I don't know, but I will definitely keep you updated. For the time being, I plan on reviewing Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, the final episode, tomorrow, amongst other things. So I will be seeing you all then. And thank you for your avid support and your encouragement and your words of kindness and all of your positive vibrations coming my way, because they certainly do help. And thank you very much. Everybody, take care.